Good evening, it's Saturday the 24th of May. You're tuned in to our 10 p.m. newscast coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. Our top story tonight, it's the first weekend of the official 13-day campaigning period for the June 4th local elections. Thousands of candidates from the ruling Saenuri Party and the main opposition New Politics Alliance for Democracy have been hitting the streets on this Saturday to connect with voters. The metropolitan cities of Seoul and Incheon, along with Gyeonggi-do province, are likely to be the fiercest battlegrounds in these elections. Meeting with voters earlier on this Saturday, Seoul mayoral candidates Jung Mong-jun of the ruling party and incumbent Park Won-soon push their policies for improving the people's livelihoods. Candidates nationwide are focusing heavily on safety-related pledges to win support from a public that are very disappointed and frustrated with the government's handling of the Sewol-ho ferry disaster. The June 4th poll will see 3,952 local administrative and legislative positions filled. 39 days have passed since the Sewol-ho ferry sank in waters off Korea's southwestern coast, and on this Saturday, no progress in the search for the more than 12 people still missing. Divers have been focusing their search on the 3rd and 4th floor of the sunken ship, but the weather conditions have actually worsened over the last few hours, making search operations that much more difficult. Meanwhile, prosecutors and police are still searching for the fugitive de facto owner of the Sewol-ho ferry, Yoo Byung-eon, and his eldest son, Yoo Dae-gyun. Police are offering the highest reward possible under Korean law of nearly $50,000 to anyone who can provide information leading to Yoo Byung-eon's arrest. Police suspect Yoo, the leader of a religious cult, may be hiding in the home of a devotee. Officers say those found harbouring the suspect will be severely punished. 2 of Yoo's close aides and his 2 other children, known to be living abroad, have been put on Interpol's wanted list. Now, the former chairman of South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff has warned that North Korea might have the will and the capability to wage an all-out war with South Korea. Our Park Ji-won reports.
General Chung Seung-jo, who served as the chairman of South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff until last October, has raised the possibility that North Korea could wage an all-out war with South Korea. Speaking at a seminar in Washington under the theme of North Korea's military threat and South Korea-U.S. alliance, Chung said Pyongyang's military capabilities and its long-standing ambition of a forceful unification means there's a possibility the North could initiate a major conflict with the South.
Some experts assess that North Korea does not have the capability to conduct an all-out war due to the aged equipment and the economic gap. However, I'm skeptical of this assessment.
General Chung said North Korea boasts massive conventional armed forces and it's intensifying its asymmetric military capabilities, such as diverse long-range missiles and chemical and biological weapons. He also expressed concern about North Korea conducting a 4th nuclear test.
They will try to show off their diversity of nuclear weapons by utilizing highly enriched uranium to hold a high-intensity nuclear test.
He added the North has deployed about 70% of its military capabilities, including its diverse long-range missiles, to regions south of Pyongyang. This means it could carry out a surprise attack on South Korea at any time. He stressed, however, the South Korea-U.S. alliance has been successful in deterring North Korea. The general said the South Korea military needs to keep strengthening its capabilities, especially in terms of tactical command and control, surveillance patrols, and surgical strikes. Park Ji-won, Arirang News.
The US is deploying 2 unmanned surveillance planes to Japan to monitor military activities in China and North Korea. Japan's Asahi Shimbun reported Saturday that the first Global Hawk drone arrived at Misawa Air Base early Saturday local time, and the second one will arrive on Wednesday. The 2 drones will fly missions over the South and East China Seas and over the Korean Peninsula twice a week through October. It marks the first time the US has deployed unmanned spy drones to Japan. Meanwhile, Chinese state media has criticized the US, South Korea and Japan for intensifying their military surveillance in the area where China is holding joint naval drills with Russia. It says all 3 countries have deployed patrol planes to monitor the drills, which will officially end on Monday. Turning now to the latest on the tense and extremely fluid situation in Thailand. The military government has ordered 35 more people, including some prominent academics, to report to them as the crackdown continues. Former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra and another 150 other people, mostly political associates of hers, are already being held by the military, which seized power in a coup on Thursday. The military council says it only plans on holding Yingluck and the others until matters in the country are organised. A military official said the former prime minister should be free within 1 week. Despite the coup, people are still free to travel in, out and around the country, and airports across Thailand are still open. The United States has suspended $3.5 million in military aid to Thailand and told the army there to restore civilian rule. Now, on a much lighter note, you may not know it really, but Korea and China have only had official bilateral relations for a little over 2 decades, 20 years. Today, the 2 countries have countless cultural exchanges happening all the time, and just one of these took place at a university in Seoul on this Saturday, a Mandarin-speaking competition where scores of Koreans got together to show off their Chinese language skills. Our Shin Se-min reports.
A sizable part of President Park Geun-hye's speech at Beijing's Tsinghua University last year was in Mandarin. She was keen to emphasize how strongly she regards Korea-China ties.
尊敬的陈继宁校长，各位教职人员，以及亲爱的各位清华学子们，大家好。
As a means to boost a close relationship, a Chinese-speaking competition took place Saturday at a university in Seoul. 150 participants, young and old, gathered at an event hosted by the Korea-China Science and Cultural Exchange Association. People from all over the country, even from as far as Jeju Island, came to be evaluated by Chinese professors on the topic of their choice.
It's my second time taking part. I hope to apply my Chinese skills and eventually become a Chinese teacher.
The annual competition discovers talented people, young or old, who can contribute to making Korea a more multicultural nation, and it also helps boost ties between the 2 countries. The president of the hosting organization says many past participants have used their language skills in different fields, such as in education or broadcasting.
Our initial aim was to bring 2 nations closer. I think the growing number of people taking part proves that. In the near future, we hope to launch a Korean-speaking competition in China.
Organizers hope that with many more events like this in the pipeline, the 2 countries can forge even closer ties in the future. Shin Se-min, Arirang News.
Very cute kids. And the weather really has got a lot warmer here in Korea. And when this summer-like temperatures start to creep in, Koreans reach for relief in the form of seasonal medicinal foods. The unseasonably hot weather we've felt so far this spring has prompted people to seek out these dishes a lot earlier than normal. Our Son Jung-in reports.
Octopus, rich in essential amino acids, along with abalone and eel, can be seen prominently displayed in supermarkets these days amid warmer than average temperatures. People tend to fill their shopping carts with these so-called medicinal foods or 보양식 when the mercury rises, as they're looking for foods that will help them beat back the heat and replenish their energy levels.
I came here to buy abalone and the ingredients to stuff samgyetang for my family because the weather is getting hot.
A local retailer says their sales of summer medicinal food have increased significantly in the last couple of weeks compared to the same period last year. Sales of Korean beef byproducts like leg bones and feet have doubled, while sales of octopus have surged by 145%. Similar bumps were seen for abalone and eel products. As for chicken, sales have rebounded after tumbling by 20% in February due to the avian influenza virus outbreak, thanks to surging demand for Koreans' long-favored summer food samgyetang, or ginseng chicken soup. The rise in demand has distributors scrambling to take advantage.
Sales of medicinal food like chicken and abalone are showing a constant rise with the arrival of earlier than expected summer heat. We are preparing enough supply to meet the surging demand, as this trend is expected to continue for the time being.
And with months of sweltering summer heat on its way, local suppliers are looking forward to what they hope will be a banner season. Son Jung-in, Arirang News.
Now, before we go, a brief check on the weekend weather for Korea. Most of the country is under cloudy skies this evening, and Sunday is going to feel noticeably cooler than today, with the highs only creeping up to the low 20s. Rain is expected across the central region from the afternoon. Let's take a look at the weather wherever you are in the world. And those are the stories we have for you at this hour. For more of the latest stories, don't forget to check out our website, arirang.co.kr/news. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.